All right, well, I've been looking for a few minutes to say some things about the Mustang, so since I'm stuck in traffic, I guess this is as good a time as any. I say the Mustang, I should be more specific. The convertible, 4-cylinder, automatic Mustang, to be exact. Yeah, when they handed me the keys to this thing at the rental counter, and I first looked down on the piece of paper and I saw a Mustang, I was like, oh, that's kind of different. That'll be, not a Corolla for once, not a Sentra. And yeah, as soon as I started to think about it, I was like, wow, there's no way they're giving me a V8 manual. And of course it's not. So I guess I should start with the positives. I really, really like this volume knob right here. It's made out of metal. It's really clicky, which is nice. Otherwise, so this car, the interior of these cars is not great, and I'll try and keep it as concise as I can. First off, I just want to say, I've always thought that they were a good concept. They look nice, especially when you get in one of these cars when it's brand new, it kind of pulls it off. As you can see, this car has been rode really hard and put away wet. I mean, look at all the broken vents up there. Somebody just had their way with this poor car. I mean, it's only got 33,000 on it, and I have to tell you, this car feels like it's, at like end of life status. This car feels like it feels like a fully used car. It feels like it does not have a whole lot left in it, which is kind of ridiculous. But this car kind of ties a loop for me, because I remember 25 years ago, sometime around late 90s, year 2000, I remember my dad renting a Grand Am for work, and he drove an Integra at the time. And I remember being in that Grand Am with him, and he said, man, I rent one of these American cars, and he said, I'd forgotten how quickly American cars like this feel so worn out. And at the time, I didn't really understand what he meant, and now I totally understand exactly what he meant. And even I'm looking on the video screen, the interiors of these cars, they're nice looking. They look good in pictures. If you get in one brand new at the dealership, they're not bad, but quality-wise, they don't hold up. So first off, these door panels are really cheap feeling. This whole center console right here, this is really cheap feeling. The instrument cluster is okay enough, I guess. Actually, I've always liked the instrument cluster. The steering wheels, I like the way these steering wheels on these cars look. However, this is a cheap unit, and I don't like that, because on a car you're constantly touching the steering wheel. So how expensive does the steering wheel feel is just completely transforms the whole interior of a car, in my humble opinion. This, it's wrapped in something. I guess this is some kind of a vinyl material. It's cheap. It is shiny. It is not pleasant to the touch. It is not pleasant on the eye. This plastic right here is very, very cheap. The steering wheel is just it's not like a Toyota level unit, I'll say. The rest of the interior, like I said, it looks good. It's a good concept. However, the quality is not there. So here's the other thing about this car. It's a convertible. I'm not a convertible guy. I knew the instant they gave me a Mustang convertible at the rental lot, I was like, I'm probably not really going to love this thing per se. And I don't love convertibles. They're fun when you've got the top down. I'll give you that. But I would never own one just for durability, but even just driving one, the chassis flex of this car is awful. This is a very flexible car, and that's just not satisfying on so many levels. For one thing, this car rides rough. That's probably my biggest qualm out of all of the qualms with this car, is that it kind of rides rough. So yeah, the whole car kind of rattles, it kind of creaks. It's got some handling characteristics. Now, I'm here driving around Southeast Virginia, relatively rural area. All the roads are straight. On the very, very rare occasion when I have to turn this car for whatever reason, you can tell in the chassis, fully independent, rear-wheel drive, et cetera, you can tell it's got some athletic qualities underlying, yeah. But it just doesn't add up to a whole ton, because the car is so wobbly and flexible and rattly. Yeah, it rides stiff. It's not a great ride. The front seats are good. They're very supportive and well bolstered. I will give it that. They're very low, so you have your legs, kind of outstretched in this car. That's fine. It's just different, sports car things. But another issue about this car in the interior is how high it comes up on you and the blind spot. So the C-pillar back there has a very pronounced blind spot, which is not great. And then the issue is that the car comes up high on you. This door panel comes up high, dashboard comes up high, everything is high up around you, which is not a satisfying feeling. Here's the problem with sports cars like this is because of crash safety standards at this current point in time, the car has to come up pretty high on you. So like the window sills have to all come up very high. That really kind of defeats a lot of the greatness of a low-slung sports car, because what you want, especially if the roof is going to be low and the car is going to be low, you want the door sills or the window sills to be low so that you can see out of the damn thing, and so it's nice and airy and it gives you a nice experience. But what happens is, because with modern cars there's really a floor on how low the door sill can go, it winds up in a sports car, in a low-slung sports car like this, or the Camaro, or I mean any other sports car, any other two-doors low sports car, it winds up really cramping the style of the car overall, in my humble opinion. So just how high up windowsills come nowadays really defeats a lot of the greatness of any two-door sports car, and this thing doesn't escape that at all. The transmission sucks, the engine sucks, they suck, they're bad for each other. It's like a couple of two really shitty people and you're like, you guys are made for each other. Oh man. And that's your glorious shitbox of a Mustang. And hey, Smithfield, Virginia is not bad. Look at that. Though, would you believe that the world's oldest ham, and I haven't been to the museum, maybe I should go tonight, but the world's oldest ham is here in Smithfield, Virginia?